This is Nova3D Whale4 16K, the third printer that I review from Nova3D. This printer X and Y axis resolution is 14 and 19 micron, and the build volume is 211.68 length, 118.37 width, and 220 mm height. Here is my in-depth test and review for the printer. Man, it's heavy! Okay, I just finished unboxing the printer. The cover comes separately from the printer itself. You have the equipment needed here to assemble the cover to the printer. You can find it in the accessories box, and we have some Allen key and bolts, a clipper, and a plastic spatula, the adapter, gloves, a resin filter. This is to attach to your bottle for the resin refill system, which is gravity feed, and the USB stick. Here we have the purifier at the top and heater at the bottom. Kind of weird design, but I think it should work. We will test it. This is an extra stuff that I never find on any other printer before. This is their platform spacer to help you with leveling your build plate, or maybe you attach it to the build plate. We will take a closer look later. So before I attach the cover to the printer, let's have a close-up look at the printer. We have the power button and the USB port at the front, and the user interface. I 100% approve the power button and the USB port location. The entire body is made from metal. Amazing, that is why it is so heavy. And at the back we have the power plug and some long port. And at the top here you could attach your own filtration system. On the side here, nothing. Nova3D Whale4 platform is very nice to hold. I like it. And for the leveling system, you should look here. There is a spacer that looks like this, and you use it for leveling your build plate. This is a somewhat new leveling system that I see from Nova Whale4 build plate. And at the bottom, flat, no non-edge surface, but you could easily give them more scratch with sandpaper. And these 5 holes here for venting your resin, so to minimize the pressure on the resin surface. Nice. For the Z tower, we have a nice splash guard here, and you could see there's a Z sensor at the top and the bottom. Hopefully this could help more accurate Z height. So Nova3D Whale4 is not using wall rail, but a single very big linear rail. We shall see on my test result how this single rail performs. Going up 4 millimeters and then go back down 4 millimeters. I think it looks great. And very typical for single rail printer. The indicator will shake, so make sure you have a very sturdy cable or platform to put your printer, because it is very prone to vibration. For the resin tank, it is made of plastic. I'm not sure what type of plastic it is and how well it can withstand cracking from resin and IPA or alcohol, but I'm sure Nova3D have done their homework. And looking at the bottom, the outer wall is slightly raised from the FEP here, so we can be sure to safely put our resin tank without causing dirt and dust to stick to the FEP because of the raised wall on the outer edge of the resin tank. We have the pouring spout here. This is a much better placement than the previous version. And the thumb screw, it will not fall out, so yeah, you could double it as a handle too. And I'm sure we are using something like an FEP because of the clear FEP. And I like the fact that because it is made from plastic, it is very lightweight. I am somewhat dilemma with metal resin tank because of their weight. They are heavy, and holding it with one hand when trying to clean the resin tank is quite a chore. And yeah, I like this. It is very lightweight. Here to place your resin bottle for the refill system. And over here to attach your purifier / heater. There's a hole here for the bolts to secure them. Attaching them is quite easy, but make sure you scratch that. Attaching them is not super easy. It's not very easy because you have to pick underneath and make sure you line them up correctly. And I don't know, I am somewhat scared. Is it attached correctly? Okay, now I should secure them with bolts. See the awkward design. Okay, fully secure. Oh, by the way, the entire assembly of the purifier and the heater is also made of metal. I want to make sure that I attach it properly. And yes, it is turning on for the heater. Nice. What I like the most is the ability to adjust your temperature, because like I said in my previous printer review, this is very important because the temperature that you want to use depends on your local area, humidity, and also depends on the resin that you use. And when the printer starts exposure, I could see that the purifier fan is turning, so yep, I could feel air coming out from behind. Okay, everything works very well. And the entire platform here is also made of metal, which is great. And for the screen, it looks like we have a tempered glass. So I guess, should I still install a screen guard or no? Maybe I could just rely on this tempered glass. So the whole test print on this review, I will not install any screen guard and just rely on the tempered glass. Here for the light uniformity test, 5.2, 5.9, 5.5, 5.6, 5.5, 5.9. So it is averaging from 5.2 to 5.9. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section. Now let us have a look at the user interface. This is the printing menu. This is from USB flash, and this is for internal memory. On the tools, so you could set your own distance for the moving up and down height. And then what about this? Homing. So after homing, you could set the distance you want your build plate to travel when moving up or down. Up 10 millimeters, down 10 millimeters. This is for resin vat cleaning, for screen testing. This is for the heater setting. And here, language for your Wi-Fi. Yes, Nova3D Whale4 has a built-in Wi-Fi. And also you could choose Ethernet and this lifespan here. So you could check your screen lifespan. Okay, that's it for the user interface. Underneath the printer, yes, we have adjustable feet. This is the most important from all resin 3D printer. Assemble the cover is quite easy, but make sure you have like a 15 centimeter clearance behind your printer so it will not hit the back of any place that you are placing this printer on. The cover hinge is very good. You can safely leave it in any position. So this kind of hinge is becoming a trend, which is great for the hinge, but kind of sad for the back space. But it is what it is. Let's see how well the cover block UV light. This is without the cover, 60.9. And cover on. Okay, I do not expect this, so there's a small amount of UV light passing through the cover. So make sure do not leave your resin in the printer for too long if you are not printing anything. Now, noise check with the cover open. First, turning on the heater. About 63 decibel. Next, what about the purifier? About 60 decibel. Close the cover. Heater on. Slightly muffled to 60 decibel. What about the purifier? Somehow the purifier getting a bit louder when the cover is closed. About 61 decibel. But everything's still in the range of quiet in my opinion. Quieter compared to your indoor fan. All prints coming out great. Now let's wash it. Everything removes very nice and easy. Looks like their leveling design is working very good. Here are all the print results, so let's have a look at them one by one. On my stability torture test, although my dial indicator test is not showing a good result when I push the bill arm side to side, but at least on this test result, it is smooth, no wobble, and everything is very straight. For the antialiasing, it seems that they are not working, because on all my test print results, you could clearly see the voxels. Whether it is a mild or an aggressive setting, all of the print results still have voxels. So I'm not sure whether it is the hardware or the firmware issue, but I have talked with Nova3D and hopefully they will update me later on this antialiasing. I will let you guys know when I have more info. Although the antialiasing is not working, at least I do not see any artifact lines and the surface is smooth. And here are the leather models that I'll always use to check details. This is on Nova3D Whale4 16K. You could see the details on the very top rows. Over here, compare it to the one I printed on 12K. This is on another printer. So yeah, it clearly shows a bit more details on 16K. And look at the very back. The width of the leather is 0.05 millimeters. Compare them to my fingerprints. I could read the letters very well, which is great. And this is on the 12K. Kind of hard to read, but yeah, this is clearly an advantage of 16K. But keep in mind, this is all is under macro lens, and this is roughly how you are seeing them in hand. For the back details, so what do you guys think of the difference roughly in hand without any magnification? Let me know in the comment section. I like to use this model as one of the benchmark when I test a printer because of the details that I intentionally design. And look at the stitching holes it is showing, which is great for this 16K printer. But in my opinion, they should be sharper. Maybe because this is of the resin, or I'm not sure, or I should adjust my exposure again. I'm testing this using their TRM resin and not the usual 8K resin that I use on printer review. For the small steering wheel model, this is roughly at 1/3 scale or 1/4 scale, I don't quite remember. And if we focus on the letterings surrounding this turn knob, they are showing up very well. Look at the number 5 compared to the tip of my needles here. To help you imagine the size of the letters around the turnknob, this is my needle and pointing at the letters around the turnknob. Rescaling the steering wheel smaller into 1/6 scale, let's have a macro close-up look. Okay, about this magnification, I could still see the letterings very well on the screen. Let's magnify more. I want to check can I read the letters around here or not. After more magnification, I can see some shapes, but I cannot make out what is the letter here. Yeah, looks like this is the limit of the printer. If you are into figurine or making statue, I hope this model could represent how do you think the printer will perform. This model here is about 1/6 scale. Nova3D Whale4 16K is able to capture the skin texture details. They looks very awesome. And look at the sharpness for the eyes, and I know it is crucial because you need to paint the eyes, and the sharpness for the eyes is very important. This is Omina, the model that I released last month on my Patreon and Couch 3D. You could find the link in video description. I designed this model for the hair and the head part with 0.1 tolerance. And Nova3D Whale4 16K is able to give a very good fitting for the print result, which is quite surprising because when I check the scale dimension on x-axis, this should be 20 millimeters, and it is a little bit undersized. On y-axis, the same result, a little bit undersized. So I think this is maybe because of the resin. If you check on their website, TGM resin is special for miniature. Maybe that is why it is not super accurate. Considering the head fits very well into the hair, I'm not using any resin like 8K resin that is designed for accuracy, and only use the TGM resin for miniature. I must say, for accuracy, Nova3D Whale4 16K is a pass for me. And when I post the short video of this Omina bus model, someone asked for a larger print for this model. Here we go, cue the music. I also want to use this opportunity to test their TGM resin. This is for bending test and this is for the drop test. First on the 1mm, it breaks, 2mm, breaks, 3mm, 4mm, okay, it also breaks, and the 5mm, very hard to bend and break. Okay, I am unable to break it or bend it all the way. Okay, I guess that is for the bending test. And for the drop test, I'm gonna try to drop this along with this model here. Drop test first model. It breaks, not super strong against drop, but this is normal. And on the second model, on the second model, let's repeat. The head also breaks. So I'm not sure what is the specialty for this TGM resin. Let's try another one. Let's try this one here. Let's try it. Nothing breaks, but the support is removed. Okay, nothing breaks, but somehow the supports detach. Okay, my conclusion for this TGM resin: if you don't want it to break, then print it at 5mm thickness. One thing I really like from this printer is the build plate, especially the leveling system. Other build plate leveling has more risk of the plate shifting because of the tension from tightening the bolts, and I believe Whale4 build plate doesn't have such issue because of the spacer. Other than that, to me, this printer is okay-ish. What do you think about this printer? Let me know in the comment section. And see you guys in the next video.